and they don't have any oxygen. So the number of minerals that's available there is much more limited because you don't get the oxygen. It makes a lot of chemical reactions, which ends up forming different minerals. If you look at this table, most of the minerals on this table have oxygen in their structure. The exceptions, of course, are the sulfides.
It's a very nice stone.
Right? Those are like pyrite. Okay? But almost everything else has not everything else, but many others. Like quartz has oxygen in it. Celestite has oxygen in it. Garnet has oxygen in the structure. Fluorite doesn't. That's just calcium chloride. But most of the complex silicates, there's oxygen in it. And without an oxygen environment, we can't form them.
Well, that's the question. What forms in the planets that don't have oxygen?
I don't know a whole lot. Mostly the things that you find in, in just a lava environment,
And of course, we don't know what's in other solar systems.
Well, absolutely. That's a tough one to call since none of us has ever been there.
So you're saying that without oxygen, the minerals we know would not form.
Many of the minerals we know would not form. There's still a lot that would exist, but there's a bunch that would.
What about like the Moon or Mars or Venus? I mean,
so the Moon is basically the Moon was formed when a small planet hit Earth about 150 million years after the formation of the Earth, and it splashed back off, and the core is believed to have stayed on Earth, and so basically it's volcanic material.
So the Moon would have the same minerals as Earth. Maybe.
It would, but it doesn't. But the Moon doesn't have oxygen.
But it had oxygen before it was pushed out.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
No.
Yeah.
No,
What about Mars and Venus? Planets close.
So Mars and Venus, there's evidence. So like Venus, basically, it's a runaway greenhouse effect on that planet. Mars has lost a lot of its atmosphere, so their compositions have changed. But again, that's what's unique about our planet is there's a bunch of oxygen, and that's not available in a lot of these other locations.
Now they're doing a lot of research finding exoplanets
outside
right,
of our solar system
that are by radiation, by X-ray.
By using radiation, they can figure out a lot.
That it has something similar to Earth.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, I don't really follow that, so
Right.
I don't know too much.
Right. Well, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
And what about the issue that we're trying to find some of the missing elements? Does that relate to minerals?
Yeah, the Swiss National Synchrotron Lab. Yeah.
They're creating new
particles,
Particles.
not new elements.
Not new-
Particles.
okay.
primarily. Yeah, and what they do is they bombard nuclei to generate heavier and heavier new elements who have lifespans or half-lives of, nanoseconds or picoseconds. So they don't last, they decompose right away. So they can detect them in their system, but that's about it. They can study them a little bit, but by and large, it's not really anything that's going to be super helpful to us, at this point. Down the ways, I'm sure it will.
So the elements that they're looking for would not be something that could
You're
be.
not going to find them routinely. They're basically trying to understand what are the possibilities, that you can go further with.
Right. So we're not going to find any new minerals with the work they're doing.
Well, probably not.
Have we found all of the elements in the what do they call that? The
Periodic table?
yeah, periodic table.
Well, there's no blanks in the periodic table, but they're trying to extend it.
They are.
Yeah, and
Up
that's
and down, up, smaller or bigger?
no, it's heavier.
Heavier.
The lightest stuff has already been completely figured out.
I'll leave you. Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
very
it.
welcome.
I'll
Take
get
care.
in
It's
touch
nice
with you.
chatting
Thank
with
you.
you.